Britain's Got Talent introduced the world to Stacey Leadbeatter, but what if I told you that the show barely scratched the surface of her story? You saw her on stage, but behind the scenes, there's a side of Stacey that never made it to TV, a story of unexpected challenges, behind-the-scenes drama, and a truth about her journey that might change the way you see her. What really happened when the cameras weren't rolling? Stay with me, because once you hear this, you'll never look at her the same way again. Before Britain's Got Talent, Stacey Solomon lived a life far from the spotlight, working a regular job in a supermarket where she spent her days stacking shelves and cooking chickens. Singing had always been a deep passion of hers, but she never believed she was good enough to pursue it seriously. Her love for music started at a young age when she fell in love with the soundtrack of Grease, singing along to every song and dreaming of performing one day. But despite her talent, self-doubt held her back. She was incredibly shy about her voice, only ever singing in the privacy of her bedroom or occasionally posting videos on TikTok. Even as she grew older, she remained hesitant to share her gift with the world, convinced she wasn't meant for the big stage. In fact, before stepping onto the BGT stage, the largest audience she had ever performed for was a modest crowd of just 50 people in a local pub. Outside of music, Stacey's life revolved around her daughter, who was her biggest motivation and inspiration. Juggling work, motherhood, and her quiet passion for singing, she never imagined that her journey would lead her to one of the biggest talent competitions in the world. But deep down, there was always a part of her that longed for something more, a chance to break free from her fears and show the world what she was truly capable of. And when she finally decided to take that leap of faith, stepping onto the Britain's Got Talent stage for the first time, it was a moment that would change her life forever. Despite her talent, Stacey never thought she was good enough. She only ever sang in her bedroom or on TikTok. In fact, before BGT, the biggest crowd she had ever performed for was just 50 people in a pub. But when she finally found the courage to step onto the Britain's Got Talent stage, she had no idea that one performance would change everything. Stacey's journey to becoming a clear and powerful singer wasn't easy. For years, she struggled with a speech impediment that made it difficult for people to understand her, let alone appreciate her singing. It wasn't just about pronunciation. Certain sounds were hard for her to produce, and this challenge carried over into her music, making it frustrating for her to express herself the way she wanted. But instead of letting it hold her back, Stacey took matters into her own hands. During the lockdown, she turned to YouTube, where she found speech therapy videos that helped her retrain her voice. She practiced tirelessly, repeating exercises daily to strengthen her articulation and improve her clarity. Slowly but surely, she began to notice a difference. Words became sharper, lyrics more defined, and soon her singing voice transformed. In an interview, Stacey opened up about how critical this self-training was for her progress, admitting that if she ever stops practicing, she risks losing the improvements she's worked so hard to achieve. Stacey wasn't always able to sing clearly. A few years ago, her speech impediment made it hard for people to even understand her lyrics. But instead of giving up, she taught herself speech therapy techniques during lockdown. If she stops practicing, she risks losing the progress she's made. Her story is one of resilience and determination, proving that obstacles don't have to define a person's potential. Now, when she performs, audiences hear not just a beautiful voice, but also the dedication behind every note. Clips of her earlier struggles compared to her current performances make it clear just how far she's come, and it's a testament to the power of perseverance. However, just when she thought she had overcome her biggest challenge, an unexpected obstacle threatened everything she had worked for. What most people don't know is that Stacey suffered a devastating miscarriage just months before her BGT audition, a heartbreaking loss that deeply impacted her. She had been expecting a baby, filled with excitement and dreams for the future, but tragically she lost the pregnancy, leaving her in immense grief. The pain was overwhelming, yet Stacey chose to keep moving forward, channeling her emotions into her music. On TikTok, she opened up about her experience, sharing raw and emotional posts that gave her followers a glimpse into the heartbreak she endured. In one particularly moving post, she described how difficult it was to process the loss, admitting that there were days when she felt completely broken. "I never thought I'd have to go through something like this," she wrote. "It's a pain that words can't explain, but I know I have to keep going." Despite the emotional turmoil, Stacy found the strength to stand on the BGT stage and give a performance that moved the judges and audience to tears. Every note she sang carried the weight of her grief, her pain, and her resilience, making her audition even more powerful. While many were touched by her voice, few realized the depth of the sorrow behind it. Looking back, Stacy has said that music became her healing force, helping her cope with the unimaginable loss. Through her journey, she has inspired countless others who have faced similar tragedies, proving that even in the darkest moments, there is still a way to find strength and keep going. But what happened after her unforgettable audition? The judges were in awe, the audience was on their feet, but behind the scenes, Stacy was still battling emotions that no one could see. As Stacy took the stage, the atmosphere was electric with anticipation. The moment she began to sing, a hush fell over the audience, and within seconds, everyone was completely captivated by her breathtaking voice. The judges sat in awe, their expressions shifting from surprise to sheer admiration. Simon Cowell, known for his sharp critiques, was visibly moved, leaning forward with an intense gaze, as if witnessing something truly special unfold before his eyes. As she reached the climax of her song, the entire room erupted into cheers, with some audience members even brought to tears. The energy in the theater was overwhelming, and as the final note echoed, the crowd rose to their feet in thunderous applause. Simon, still taken aback, turned to his fellow judges and made a bold comparison, calling Stacy the new Susan Boyle, a once-in-a-lifetime talent who had the potential to take the world by storm. KSI, who had been watching in awe, found himself swept up in the moment. The audience, sensing the magnitude of what had just happened, began chanting, urging him to hit the golden buzzer. The pressure mounted as he hesitated for a brief second, but the sheer excitement in the air left him with no choice. With a dramatic motion, KSI slammed his hand down on the buzzer, sending golden confetti raining down as Stacy covered her face in shock and emotion. The entire auditorium erupted, with the judges smiling and clapping, knowing they had just witnessed something unforgettable. Stacy had officially secured her place in the semi-finals, and in that instant, she became one of the most talked-about acts of the season. The internet buzzed with excitement. Social media flooded with reactions, and fans around the world began rallying behind her, eager to see what she would do next. It was a career-defining moment, one that would be replayed and remembered as one of the most magical golden buzzer moments in the show's history. But behind the scenes, an unexpected twist was already unfolding, one that could change everything. Even after her golden buzzer moment on Britain's Got Talent, Stacy still battles stage fright, something she has struggled with long before she stepped onto the big stage. Despite her undeniable talent and the overwhelming support from fans, she finds it hard to shake the fear of judgment and self-doubt that has followed her throughout her singing journey. Before her breakthrough on BGT, she often turned down offers to sing at weddings, parties, and other events simply because she was afraid of what people might say or how they might perceive her performance. The pressure of expectations made her overthink every note, every lyric, and every moment on stage, leading her to avoid situations where she had to sing in front of an audience. Even after receiving the golden buzzer, a dream moment for many aspiring artists, Stacy admits that her confidence issues haven't disappeared overnight. She knows that overcoming stage fright is a process, and while it still lingers, she is determined to push through it. With each performance, she reminds herself that she has come this far for a reason, and the golden buzzer wasn't just luck. It was recognition of her raw talent and potential. Now, instead of running from opportunities, she is slowly learning to embrace them, challenging herself to step outside her comfort zone. She understands that growth doesn't happen without discomfort, and though the fear remains, so does her passion for singing. With her golden buzzer moment serving as a reminder of her capabilities, Stacy is taking small but meaningful steps toward breaking free from the doubts that have held her back for so long. Even after BGT, Stacy admits she struggles with confidence. She's turned down offers to sing at weddings because she overthinks what people will say. But with her golden buzzer moment, she's determined to break free from her doubts. Stacy's journey has been nothing short of inspiring, proving that dreams can come true with perseverance and passion. After years of working as a supermarket employee while nurturing her love for singing, she finally got her moment to shine on Britain's Got Talent, where her powerful voice captivated millions. But her story isn't just about music, it's also about love and resilience. Recently, she announced her engagement to her childhood friend Richard, someone who has been by her side long before the world knew her name. Their love story, built on years of friendship and unwavering support, is set to take the next step as they plan to tie the knot in 2027. As she prepares for her dream wedding, Stacy is also chasing another lifelong dream, turning her passion for music into a full-fledged career. With her newfound recognition and a growing fan base, she is determined to take her talent beyond the BGT stage, working on new projects and hoping to establish herself in the industry. Though the journey won't be easy, her story has already proven that persistence pays off. From the aisles of a supermarket to the dazzling lights of the stage, she has shown the world that no dream is too far-fetched. And now, with love in her heart and music in her soul, the possibilities for her future are endless. Stacy's story isn't just about talent, it's about never giving up. She's now engaged to her childhood friend Richard and looking forward to her dream wedding in 2027. And with the world finally recognizing her voice, who knows? This supermarket worker might just become Britain's next big star. Stacy stood on the Britain's Got Talent stage, completely overwhelmed as golden confetti rained down around her. Her hands covered her mouth, her eyes wide with shock, before tears began streaming down her face. She dropped to her knees, unable to contain the wave of emotions rushing through her. The judges, still standing, applauded with admiration, while the audience roared with excitement, cheering her name. The moment was almost too much for her to process. 1 second she was just another hopeful performer, and the next she had earned one of the most coveted honors in the competition. As the golden buzzer's music echoed through the arena, Stacy finally looked up, locking eyes with the judge who had just changed her life. She whispered, "Thank you," though her voice was barely audible over the noise of the crowd. With trembling hands, she wiped away her tears, still struggling to believe what had just happened. Her family and friends, watching from backstage, jumped up and down, screaming in joy, some even crying as they witnessed her big moment. The host rushed onto the stage, grinning as he helped Stacy to her feet, asking how she felt. Stacy, still in disbelief, tried to find words, but all she could manage was a choked-up, "This means everything to me." The audience clapped even louder, showing their support for the emotional singer. The judge who hit the golden buzzer walked onto the stage, giving Stacy a heartfelt hug, whispering words of encouragement in her ear. "You deserve this," they said, and Stacy could only nod, overwhelmed by gratitude. As she walked off the stage, she kept looking back, still mesmerized by the golden confetti that covered the floor, knowing that this was a moment she would never forget. The entire arena felt electric, as if everyone knew they had just witnessed the birth of a future star. Backstage, Stacy was embraced by her loved ones, and the emotions hit her all over again, causing fresh tears to fall. She had dreamed of this moment for so long, and now it was real. Her journey on BGT had just taken an incredible turn, and the world was now watching. But will she make it all the way to the finals? That's the big question. Do you think Stacy has what it takes to go all the way? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more BGT stories.